Smart women have focused their attention on the new alimony, aka child support.
I think a lot of men rightly resist paying child support that is exorbitant. I think lots of child support awards are really disguised alimony. I read somewhere that it takes about 8% of a family's gross income to support a child, but the average child support is 17%. So what's the deal with this extra 9%? I think a lot of men are asking whether their child support money is going for the child or whether it's going for a new coat for mommy and a night out on the town for mommy.
But that's not true.
And I'm pretty sure if your guys are thinking like myself, I would have loved to see what that woman's reaction was. That seemed like a pretty old clip, but that was the full clip. So I don't want nobody in the comments asking me how to get to it. That was the full clip. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Ron back with another video. If you're new to the platform, welcome to the tribe. By the end of this video, I hope you subscribe. However, though, that is a great point, and those are statistics that I did not know. And keep in mind, that's an old clip. So if men are forking out 2 times as more for child support versus what it takes to support a child with combined incomes, explain to me where's that other 9% going to? What is the other 9% for? And for that woman to sit over here and say that's not true, then why do y'all need that other 9% if it only takes 8% of a family's gross income to support a child? That's actually a very valid that's a valid point and a great question, man. And I'm pretty sure that's a question that most women won't be able to answer without saying some kind of bullshit. All right, but I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time talking because I've got a lot of clips to play for you guys because I'm really getting sick and tired of this deadbeat dad narrative that these women want to push because the statistics don't support their narrative whatsoever. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it.
Do black men not realize that whenever they spew this bullshit ass rhetoric that they are essentially setting themselves up for failure, that they're perpetuating this stereotype that number one, black men are incapable of being fathers.
Stop the cap.
That they're criminals. You should treat them like criminals. And that the only thing that they're good for is making babies and abandoning them. They're perpetuating a very dangerous stereotype that puts their safety and their lives in jeopardy. But they're too fucking stupid to realize that they are hurting themselves by spreading this bullshit. What's so stupid about this whole logic is you can easily flip that on its head, and it shows that black men are incapable of being present fathers. You're essentially saying that if a woman, regardless on what her race is, decides to have a child with a black man, she is 95% likely to become a single mother because black men produces the most fatherless households out of any other male demographic. Do you see how dangerous that logic is? But keep spewing this nonsense. Eventually, women are going to get smart and start believing that you are incapable and that the only thing you're good for is producing babies and running. That's it. You don't contribute to the economy. You don't contribute to society. You don't contribute to nothing but making babies.
You stupid.
You know what? Hold my beer. I'm not even going to waste my time arguing with women like this anymore. I'm gonna just show these next clips because they all got statistics that I've regurgitated 100 times. Check these clips out, man.
There are more single men without kids than there are single women without kids. Yet the narrative online would make it seem like it's men out here that got kids and it's hard to find a man who don't have baby moms. No, it's actually more in reverse. I always say the loneliest person is a single man.
In what universe?
In general, there are much more lonely men, and the loneliest person is a single man, not a single woman. Because again, if that single woman tomorrow decides, I want a man's attention, she can do a few things to make it happen ASAP. I don't care who she is. That man does not have those same avenues.
And you saying they're not getting no action, Jackson?
None.
Wow.
All right. So just to back up what I believe his name is Steven Speaks, and I know he can come off as a grifter sometimes. He has a little bit more balanced approach. He holds both sides accountable. But on this particular issue, I'm familiar with the stats because I looked this up myself. So 54% of black men are single and childless. Only 39 and a half, somewhere between 39 and a half, 40%. I usually say 40% just to, because I like to round up or round down. Now, that's a 14% difference between black men without children and black women without children. But on top of all that, you guys, the black women outnumber the black men by 2 million. 22 over 22 million black women in the United States versus a little over 20 million men in the United States, black men. So explain to me how in the hell it's so hard for women to find men without children versus men finding women without children. See, you got to learn how to read between the lines. It's the type of men that they want that they can't find that don't have children. That's what they're struggling with. See, the 16% that are having all these kids out of wedlock, the 80% of kids that are out of wedlock, they want men that are a lot like that 16% that are being irresponsible that they want to sit over here and complain about. That's what it really is. But they don't want to have that conversation. Let's continue.
We want to act like we didn't play a role.
We have to be held accountable for their poor selection.
No, you have to be held accountable. No, you have to be held accountable because they have a poor selection.
You stupid.
See, what you're saying, you're selecting a poor mate. And what I'm saying is they don't have much to select one, so of course you're going to end up with a poor mate. And why is she going to end up with a poor mate? Because we as black men are not raising black boys to be the men that our women need.
Black men have to be held accountable because a black woman chose the wrong baby's dad because she chose the wrong man. A black man she don't even know has to be held accountable for her choices. You see how crazy that sounds? Imagine somebody coming and telling you that you're accountable for something you weren't around for and something you didn't do. It makes no sense. I said what I said. And my name is Charlotte Kemia.
And notice that those stats that I mentioned were sitting on that very same clip as well. Like I said, man, I ain't got to say much, man. Now, this last clip is going to be a little bit of a rehash because one is kind of like, it's like 3 clips molded into one because one of them is about the live show that I had going over the situation with Rebecca Lynn Pope. Then there's another woman who, come to find out, she's a single mom, but she had a child by a man that was already married. So that explains why she's so bitter. And then in the following clip after that is going to disprove all the logic throughout this whole entire video. All right. Like I say, man, women lie, men lie, but numbers don't. Let's keep it moving.
Black men are not in the home raising their kids.
Stop the cap.
Black fathers are the #1 fathers that are absent. You got to do it all yourself. Well, what energy does that put you in? Masculine.
Women all over the world, listen to me. Stop having babies with black men. I'm saying this because they have the proclivity to have negative relationships with their children. They abandon children.
Day-to-day interactions of African-American dads with their kids, they are not just meeting other groups, they are in fact exceeding them. Now let's bring up this chart and you're going to see examples of this. So on the left you have fathers living with their children, on the right fathers not living with their children. Now how involved is each group in these different categories? So in terms of they fed or ate meals with their children daily, by 5 points, black dads are actually more likely to do that than white dads and more likely than Hispanic dads. In terms of bathing their kids, again, significantly more likely. That is, they're just barely beaten out in playing with children to white dads, but 0.5, probably margin of error, more likely to read to their children daily. Those are the ones actually living with their children. But the criticism often is, the issue is that they're just not living with their children. But you see on the right, even the black dads not living with their children are, again, more likely to actually do these activities, in some cases fairly more likely than the white and Hispanic dads are.
So, to my female detractors who more than likely are black women, at some point y'all got to hold yourselves accountable, especially when there's more men that are childless versus women that are childless, and y'all outnumber us as a whole population as far as gender versus gender goes. So please do all the black men a favor, and please
Stop the cap.
y'all let me know what y'all thought about this, man. If you're new to the platform, please subscribe. OGs, I appreciate the love and support. Make sure y'all hitting that bell notification. That way y'all know what I'm uploading. Hit the like button because it helps with the algorithm. It helps me reach a broader audience. Also, look out for the travel vlog channel. Unplugged Traveler link is in the description and pinned in the comments. Also, check out the links for the merch, spreadshop.com, and my latest mixtape, Monk Mode Deactivated, in the description. All right. Until the next video, you guys. Deuces.